everybody? I'm back in for a moment. I was in the library. You know what else I forgot? In between age people. Are you a person born in the 60s, born somewhere in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, where you feel like all people talk about people born in like the 40s and the early 50s and mid 50s? But what about people born in the late 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, up into maybe the early 90s? That's a good idea. Are you a person born between the late 50s up into the early 90s? I say that because you look at the late baby boomers, you look at the not like that word late. You look at the later baby boomers and you look at generation X and generation Y. I was born 84, so I'm generation Y. I don't like that term millennium because when I think of millennium, it's like a time where everything is, people make it like with the new world order, people in my generation were just lost. And yes, a lot of us start out lost because the direction of the shift changed. You don't get a chance to process how things go. 1 minute you have to be in this term, 1 minute you have to follow this way of fitting in, but then we don't follow this way, you're shunned. And so people like me, and I can speak for myself. If you're born, let me ask you something. Are you born in somewhere in the 70s, 80s, or early 90s, or maybe answer that, because I got a question. Because and another thing, this is a duality moment in a duality generation time. But I get into, yeah, I could get that's a new, I can go on that right now because I'm talking about it anyway. But yeah, if you notice you're not young enough or you're not old enough, or what if you don't look your age and someone say, you're not old enough to look that age, you're not, wait a minute, I'm getting tongue tied. See what I mean? Part of my disassociation, part of me having disassociation, is part of me feel like I couldn't relate to certain trends from the trauma I've been exposed to. And I get into another time. But yeah, I'm doing this video because even when I was in my 20s, I told you I used to hang around older people that was a little older, because I felt like people my age I couldn't relate to, and people my generation, because of so much lost trends. But yeah, I'm born somewhere, like I said, in 1984, the mid decades, the early midterm of the 80s. I was born in the mid decades, the middle, and even with four. Four is kind of like a lost middle number because it's still early, but it's not in the middle. It's still early, but it's not early. But it's almost in the middle, not in the middle. See? Oh, believe me. Let me know in the comment section. Did God have a purpose when He put? Was my journey calling to talk about the middle? Because the middle is so overlooked all the time. It's kind of acknowledged but it's overlooked. But yeah, imagine being born and I guess people that are born between the mid late 50s up into the early 90s. I guess you got to be somewhere like almost 70, and in your early, maybe your early 30s. Yeah, even with that, in your 30s, oh, you're still young but you're getting old. Even with the even almost in your 70s or 60s, oh, you're not old enough, or you don't look your age. And same thing when you're like 40 or 50 or 30 and you don't look your age. It's just so much imbalance, emotional imbalance, and maybe internet age will give us a time to reclaim. But again, to all my mid baby boomers and later baby boomers and Gen X, and to all my Gen X and Generation Y's, it's not too late. We can still recomplish. But again, tell me if y'all don't like the term millennium, because millennium, it just seems to it just seemed too buzzworthy, when a lot of us all have something to offer with our generations. Because think about it, every generation has something to bring to the table, from early to in between to developing now. I don't agree with that law system. So yeah, because me being a generation Y, I'm kind of somewhat lost in the middle, and that's probably why I probably feel like I can't relate, because I'm like, whoa, where is it for me at? But to anybody that's, like I said, a mid baby boomer, later baby boomer, and a generation X and Y's, tell me your stories. And if anybody's older than that age or younger than age, you let me know. Tell me your experience being in a lost system where we're treated like the middle, where we're treated like, imagine being treated like the middle child, where sometimes in some families the oldest will be glorified and the youngest will be glorified. And you're like, well, where's it for me? Like, for example, People teens and 20s are glorified. People in their elderly years, they're kind of respected, but people in between age, we're like, what the fudge? I mean, because I've been told my life, Dad, you don't look your age. Oh, you're too young. Oh, you getting old. It's like, Jesus Christ, can I get through breathing? Even people my age would try to look down on my age. I'm like, what the fuck? And then people older than me that I got with, if they didn't have a mature conversation, they would look at me as someone that's objectified. And like I said, this is just me, but I would love for the world to get balanced. That's why I keep showing all these rainbows every time I make these videos, because I believe the world, human race, we're on we're on a balance. And also, I want to get deep for a minute. You know, if you look at the reason, you know, there should be a saying called "Let praying dogs pray." Instead of letting sleepy dogs lie, it should be called "Let praying dogs lay." Meaning, for some reason, out of every species, dogs have the upper hand to God. And if you look at dog spelled backwards for God, shouldn't that you do the math? And if you look at humans, that says right there, humans, we're not too much in tune with life. We're not, because even though we're supposed to hide the highest advance of intelligence, we abuse our intelligence. We don't have. I mean, some, not all of us, because you look at some artistic people and people with slow developing minds, they can function different. But if you look at people that's supposed to be smart and everyday people, y'all are going around abusing the word, abusing the world. Look at this corona. Look at other illness y'all cause, and then y'all controlling population. Then you're looking to make who's superior and inferior when none of us are superior or inferior. Like, again, I'm gonna go there for a moment. What if y'all could What if y'all could stop letting? What if y'all could stop? Imagine God as a human, and imagine God as a spirit, an animal, and the weather change, and some and breath is could be God. Breath, not breath, breath. The air you breathe, oxygen could be God. The weather could be God. There's so many different versions of God, because as humans, we gotta get off the pedestal. We got to. That's probably why we can't get away. Because if while we're putting other people on a pedestal, we're putting ourselves on a pedestal, but at the same time, we're damaging ourselves, because we're like, okay, I can never be greater because I don't hold up to be when I be. And another thing I want to talk to all y'all church people, to all y'all Bible thumping people, get off this pedestal stuff, because stop it. No matter how much you're into the Bible, no matter how much you're into church, you know you're going to get moments where you get aroused to adults. You know you're going to have moments where you get hungry. You know you're going to have moments where you belch, fart, and all that. So, Bible thumping people, get off the pedestal. But that's another conversation for another story. But yeah, I just had to speak to all my mid baby boomers, my later baby boomers, and Generation X and Y, cause I don't like that term millennium. I just don't. I mean, yes, it's a new age to be respected, but millennium really, cause again, I prefer to be called Generation Y. And again, if you're somewhere in your 30s or 40s, do you prefer to be called Generation do you prefer to call me Generation Y, Generation X, or Millennial? I prefer the word Generation Y, because it gives every generation room to be individuals. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, X, Y, C, C, U. It can still go on. But Millennium, there's no song for Millennium. No, no, no. Let me stop. I'm being funny. All right, I love y'all. Love y'all. Have a good day. I'm still doing something with my wall, because I'm thinking about back here making this the emerald, making this blue and emerald green. Do y'all think that? Let me ask y'all, opinion. Do y'all think I should go all the way with the green, or you think I should keep the blue and green? Because I already got these blues. Who think I should go all the way emerald green? Let me know in the comment section. All right, love y'all. But isn't it? But yeah, I just thought to do something on that.